Okay, I have done my little strip. You see it's not real big. But what it does is it guarantees what that shape's gonna look like. Now, isn't that nice? See how that's looking like? I'm pretty pleased with that one. So, and that has to do with measuring those stakes, and it has to do with making sure that these ones that are pivotal out here that really need the strength are that thicker material. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start back over here. So you can see I got lots to do to get this over here. You know, what I'm looking at right now is I want to have that area right there filled in. So I got some turnbacks to do. So I'm going to go ahead and start, and what I do at this point is I may work maybe, you know, because every length of the weaver is different. Let's say maybe I do like 1 inch to 1.5 inches on this side, and then I'm just going to drop this weaver. I don't want to cut it off because I'll come back to it, I'll get it wet. And I'll go work on the other side. And the reason that you do that is you want to keep the tension even in your basket. So if you don't, it will distort. And a distorted basket is not what we're looking for today. So it's easy to twist that weaver and not know it when you're going behind that handle. So just one more thing to watch. Okay. So I'm just going to do one side here, and basically until you finish or come up to that center point, that's all it is. You're doing turnbacks and trying to fill in. You're trying to make a half round into a rectangle is what you're doing. Okay, so but now, because I'm not worried about these guys, they're in there, I can start doing turnbacks here too. But remember, in order to turn back, it's got to be on top of a rib. And you want to turn to the inside. Okay. So then I'm going to go up here. And hey, I just want to show you something very cool that I got in the mail today. If you can see that. This, I don't know who sent it, but you gave me the big smile for today. It is a bracelet that spells out "fuck cancer" in Morse code. So I don't know who sent it, but thank you. Put a smile on my face today. Okay, so now I'm coming up here and I'm looking at where to make my turn at. Remember, it's got to be on top of one, and I'm looking at the place that it first drops. That would be here. And then I'm going to weave back, and I'm looking for the next, it'll be every other one, right? Here's my first one. So it'll be every other one, and it has to be on top of, and you're turning to the inside. So I'll work on this one section here. Basically, you got 4 sections you're working on, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to work on this section. And then I'll weave over to this side and do the same thing over here. And then I'll flip over and do the other side with a different weaver. So I'm looking here, and I did a turn here, I did a turn here, so the next one's got to be here. Same thing here. I'm looking at this one. I did a turn here. I did a turn here. So this has got to be here. And unless I turn right there and then come back and do this one again, which I could, but I think at this point I'm just going to call this good. And I'm going to go to the rim, and then I'm going to come over and do that same thing over on the other side. And you can see that I can weave right on top of those turnbacks. Make sure I have a twist. Like I say, it's easy to do on those big hoops. Okay. All right, so I'm going to weave over on the other side. I'm going to do the same thing, and then I'm going to go on the opposite side here and do the same thing over here. And really that is it. I mean, you're just going to keep coming in this way. So I'm going to work on this for a while, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Let's do an update. This is where we're at. We're almost at the finish. So remember, you just put a little strip in here to make sure everything was right. Sometimes you got to go back in and tighten that up. Sometimes it's dry and you got to cut it out and redo it, and that's fine too. So what I want to do is show you what I'm looking at. I'm almost straight on the bottom, right? But I'm also always looking on the inside to see where I got to make my turns. And this sometimes can be a little difficult with the handle, but you know, if I look on it, I can see better where I need to make my turns to straighten this out. So as you do this and you get to the end of it, look on the inside to make sure that you're turning on the best place possible to finish it up. All right, when we get all done with the weave, then we're going to put the same twill here along the bottom, and then that will be finished. Okay, so we have it all woven up. Yay! So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same twill down below here that we have up here. So you want to start it underneath that lashing. And this is still 2-2. What you might need to do is spray this a little bit because you don't want these to bust. All right, make sure that you've like wiped this off 2 or 3 times. You don't want it to bleed either. Okay, so it's that fine balance there. And this is 2 and 2. Now remember, when I do this, I don't keep a long one. The reason that I don't do that is because you're just gonna make it ratty. So I eyeball it by measuring it, you know, how far is this across, and I give it a little bit on both ends. So you can see when I spray that, you got more chance of that bleeding a little bit. And so that's the fine line that you're juggling. Do I spray it a little bit, or do I leave it completely dry and just pull that underneath there so I don't get that blue fade or brush off or whatever you want to call it. So this is just 2 and 2, and you're gonna do it for, I think I did 9 rows on the top one, so we'll do 9 on the other. And this is relatively easy. It doesn't have that tightness on the sides that the other one does. Okay, so, and you're gonna match it up just exactly like you did this one. So I'll do a couple rows and then I'll come back and show you. Okay, so you can see that I'm working my way up here, right? And I'm gonna do about 9, I think. What did I do here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so I'll do 9 down here too. So I just wanted to weave one up so that you can see what I'm doing is I'm matching this up. I need to be split from there, or I could come back here and go over 2 and work up. And I just want to tuck that underneath there. And like I said, I don't like working with a long piece. So I eyeball it and then come back here, and it's just a 2 and 2. Yeah, really gonna need your weave right tool. But I kind of thought that you would need to spray these. You really don't. You get enough give down here handle, I think. So yeah, make sure this is damp and wipe it good before you do that so it doesn't bleed. But I don't think you need to spray these. Not unless it's like super tight and you feel like it's going to bust. But I haven't found that to be the case. So I'm just going to do one here so you can see it. And then I'm going to finish this up and show you the finished basket. I will tell you this, a couple things. You're always going to have, I don't know if you can see this, but can you see it? You can't really see it. There's always hairs on a basket, and what I do is when I get all done, there's two things you can do. You can go around and clip it, or you can singe it. Either method's fine. And then you need to put some kind of a finish on your basket. It can be clear weaver stain. Could be a weaver stain with, you know, some, not that. You could use Thompson's water seal, but you need something because natural reed always gets a patina to it. It doesn't matter if it's oak or reed or whatever. You know, things get that vintage look with age, and you want to protect your reed and protect all that weaving that you just did on the basket. So put something on it. When you put, you know, like weaver stain on it and natural, it's going to make that blue really jump too. And then it protects it from fade. And like I say, I've used Thompson water seal and had good luck with that too. So next up, I'll show you the finished basket.